Yep, that's me. Right now, you're probably wondering something, but that doesn't matter because this is really all about me and what I want. It began freshman year of high school. I had just written an essay for geometry about crime circles, and I received a great grade. I was ecstatic. Later that day, we took a job aptitude test to determine the rest of our lives. And for me, it realized criminality was the clearest option. So I looked for some lockpicking sets online and ordered one which would suit my needs. Three to 5 business days later, I received said package. Little did I know as I opened it that not only would they unlock simple locks, but for me, they would unlock the rest of my life. I decided to begin small, steal a few cars here and there, with plans to eventually level up to banks. During this time, I heard word on the street that I had been nicknamed Automatic Al. Just kidding, that's a lie, no one ever called me anything. But not long in, I began to realize, what's the point? I am born to rob banks, yet all I've been doing is just petty Grand Theft Auto. And I began to ponder the natural order of society. Bakers bake, teachers teach, guards guard, and bank robbers? Well, I guess we all have our civic duty to perform. The next day, I was a new man. I hatched an ingenious scheme to rob a local bank.
Just about had it. Get out of here.
But unfortunately, I might have mixed up some steps and I forgot to put on the pantyhose before entering the premises. They quickly identified me and arrested me. 6 months later, I was back on the streets, among my people, and I concluded to attempt another bank robbery, this time with a slightly more foolproof plan. I put on the pantyhose before I entered the building. They promptly identified me and arrested me because by sheer coincidence, I happened to be wearing the same exact pair of shorts as I had during my previous incursion. As I hadn't reached the front desk before I was apprehended by the guards, they couldn't charge me with attempted robbery, so I was out the next day. But for some reason, I had previously been given a restraining order by that bank, and I was being fined for entering the premises. So, to pay it off, I turned to the only skill I did have: stealing and selling vehicles. Unfortunately, I came across a security system that I had not yet been accustomed to. "10 months later, I was out, and I was free to rob whomever I pleased. However, I just wanted to rob the same bank again. This time, I would carry a knife, and I no longer was going to use the pantyhose, as it aroused suspicion in the normally unattentive guards. It didn't work, and I was to be charged with attempted armed robbery. But as I was being driven to jail, I made a deal with myself that I would have one last chance to get this right, and this time, I'd be carrying a real weapon. "18 months later, I covertly show up to scout out the playing field. Across the street, there's a guy who appears to have locked his keys in his car, and I believe he's on the phone with a locksmith. That should give me about 3 hours to work my magic. And with my lockpicking skills, it'll serve as my getaway car. Now, for my magnum opus.
Oh my god! Hey! Come on! Come on, man!
I can't drive a manual.